What's up, everyone? This is King Crypto. Today we have a lot of news to talk about. Some good, some bad, but all interesting in the crypto space. Just want to make it clear that I did send Litecoin today to Colton Brumell. However, I kind of screwed up because I deleted the last video by mistake. But just to prove to you that I did, you can see the transaction 9 minutes ago to LURV9. As you can see, this is LURV9. So it is proof. I absolutely did send it for his comment, like I said I would. So I kept my word, and I hope you guys keep doing the Litecoin giveaways, because I will keep doing that. Although it is sporadic, I do it when I say I'm going to. Anyway, let's get into it. So the markets right now are kind of just bland. Nothing too much is going on. Mostly red I'm seeing, but there is some green. Really nothing significant is going on though today. It's just another day in the bear market, and that is what this is. It is a bear market, unfortunately, but as I've stated in past videos, all of these bear markets do at some point come to a close, and we will come back to a bull market. And every day that Bitcoin and all cryptos are in this period is one day closer to when we start seeing a bull run again. No matter how much manipulation we see in the markets, no matter how much news media tries to keep it down, it always comes back. So my bet is that it's going to happen again in the near-term future. But it's very important to note that this weekend it could be even more less liquidity than we're used to seeing even in this month, and that's usually just how it goes on the weekends when people are out and about with their families. Usually we don't see as much trading, and the month of August is typically a very low liquid month for trading. So it's really, at this point, it's just unadvisable to make any trades and just wait out this current of extreme volatility. So the first news is that Coinbase Pro halts Bitcoin USD trading, and this was due to a problem with the Bitcoin USD order book, and this caused a frenzy of anger from a lot of people on Twitter. One saying, "OMFG, how strange." You clear the whole damn book and then complain about not enough liquidity. How you expect people putting money up now? So really beautifully grammatically correct statement about the frustrations that the customers are feeling, and it makes perfect sense to be angry if you were making a trade during that period, which was from 9 p.m. to 12:15 or 8:30 to 12:15 today. That's, I don't know, I think 16 hours of no trading. People that were making a trade maybe during that period went from 6,500 all the way down to, if you didn't catch it, 6,300. So that is not good. However, it wasn't that significant. Fortunately, we didn't see a real bust at that point, because that could have been really bad for Coinbase. Lawsuits could have ensued. I think they should definitely have some kind of protections for when they make these announcements. Like, I think this was a really good tweet. You have to be covering your customers for this. Can't even imagine how many people were mid-trade. Yeah, I think you should definitely be covering people at the level that Coinbase is at now. However, I do have a bias towards Coinbase. They have been instrumental in getting people adopted into crypto. At one point in December of last year, Coinbase is the #1 free app in America. So it was a big deal, and they have the fact that it's so easy to use, accessible, is a very important thing to me. So I believe they know what they're doing, and sometimes they have to make these calls. But regardless, it's not a good thing. And a lot of experts were expecting during this period to see some serious volume swings, but we haven't really seen it too much. It stayed stable throughout it, so that's good. The next piece of news comes from Microsoft unveiling a new proof of authority algorithm. Now, just to let you know, the proof of authority algorithm has existed and has been used with VeChain and I believe one other cryptocurrency blockchain company, but I can't recall. However, Microsoft has now launched this, launching Ethereum on Azure, and this is a really big partnership in the history of this technology for sure. And essentially, what it allows is for the creation of decentralized apps on the Ethereum network. However, calling it decentralized seems to be kind of a stretch because proof of authority only works by allowing private networks that are reputable. And to say it's reputable is a centralized process. So it's a kind of a weird, it's still keeping the blockchain aspect in with voting, consensus and things like that, but it is still centralized. But for Microsoft to allow that to happen, you're still creating decentralized apps, right? People can move their apps from the Ethereum network into Azure. So that still is an accomplishment, and it is something to, consider noteworthy. I think that is really awesome. But we're still going to have to see what that leads into. But it definitely creates more legitimacy, and we are employing more blockchain momentum into this space. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because there is a lot that we could talk about with this, but I want to keep moving along. Now, the biggest news, I think, out of today is based on a rumor, really, that Facebook is planning to make waves with a cryptocurrency of their own. Now, this comes from Business Insider, where they state that Facebook's blockchain research group met with Stellar recently to talk about how distributed ledger technology could be used for their social media platform. And according to unnamed sources, so we don't really know if this is true or not, but the two parties discussed how Facebook could fork the public Stellar blockchain, as much as chat app Kik did after it decided to create an independent blockchain rather than piggyback off of Stellar. So this explains why Stellar just keeps going up. And it's interesting to note that Stellar's fall from all-time highs, while it is still very high, is the lowest within the top 10. You know what? Let me see. Ethereum Classic. Yeah, we'll stick to the top 10 because some didn't fall as hard. But Stellar, aside from Bitcoin, fell the least from the all-time high than all the other cryptocurrencies in the top 10. And that's an interesting thing to note. And it's also interesting to see how Stellar seems to make these big moves in the last few weeks. Although it does crash really hard as well, it makes these power plays. And I think it's because of news like this, because it's really taken the lead here. Now, also, Facebook crypto lead steps down from Coinbase board. David Marcus, Facebook vice president, former head of Messenger division, has stepped down from his post on Coinbase's board of directors. Now, it's believed that this probably happened due to a conflict of interest. This is a lot like Eric Schmidt stepping down from Apple's board prior to Android's launch, because it's a conflict of interest. You wouldn't want to be on Coinbase's board, release a cryptocurrency, because then it's like you're friends with the Coinbase board of directors. You can influence them. They can release your coin there. So that makes sense, I think. And it also, Mark Zuckerberg has said one of his personal challenges for 2018 is to learn more about encryption and cryptocurrencies. So if this news really does happen, you better believe that it's going to be really big. Most likely we'll see if they even do an ICO. I don't think they have to with the amount of money they have, but if they do, it will be all accredited investors. I doubt you're going to see it's going to go public. But once it's released, it could very well be a top 10 cryptocurrency from release date, just by how much money will be within that market cap to begin with. Same thing we're going to see with Telcoin, like Telegram. There's a lot in their ICO, and it was all accredited investors. So it'll be interesting to see that, because Telegram will also be probably a top 10 coin already from the get-go. And Facebook, if they're smart, which they have been, to rise from nothing to one of the biggest social media companies in the world, they know that this is something they have to do to compete with the competition. Telegram, Kick. I don't know whatever happened to Kodak. That kind of like fell through. No one talks about it anymore. But anyway, Facebook doing this really would be a big deal. And the moment it comes out on an exchange, if they do this, promise you're going to see a boatload of people buying into it. It's going to be a classic pump, and it could very well compete with Bitcoin at one point. I could absolutely see that happening. So get ready, guys, because it could be. It could. I think it would be very good for crypto to have that kind of competition, and it would bring a lot more interest as well. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to move on to my second segment of the video, so stick around for that. If you're one of my subscribers, I would love for you to check out the video, because this is what helps me as a YouTuber, because YouTube does not pay me very much. So I appreciate that, and it is an interesting cryptocurrency as well, called Libra credit, which is a lot like salt. Not like actual salt, it's cryptocurrency salt. So stick around. Alright everyone, now we're going to talk about Libra credit. This is a sponsored review of Libra credit, so I'm going to give you my opinion. The money does not influence my decision, so I just want you to understand that. So this would be just like me talking about any other thing, except I have an incentive to talk about it, but not to make up my mind favorably. So just understand that. So Libra credit is a loan company that is designed for cryptocurrency collateral. It is a lot like salt. And if you don't know what salt is, let's look that up real fast. Salt was kind of the first of its kind in this arena, and salt did a really good job when it first came out. However, it has really, really tanked in the past year. I believe it used to be in the top 50, maybe even the top 30 coins, and now it's really down to rank 129. However, it still does function. It does its job well, and there's no complaints. It's a proof of concept idea what Libra credit is trying to accomplish. It's worked in the past. There's plenty of loan companies out there that make a lot of money off of maintenance fees, origination fees, and let's say someone doesn't pay the fees, they can liquidate half of your account and it goes to them. So there's some risk in getting involved in these loan companies, but it's a really nice way of being able to hold on to your cryptocurrency without spending money or spending it, right? If you want to hold Bitcoin and you really believe it's going to hit 100K, the last thing you want to do is sell it. What if there's an emergency and you need that money to pay for, let's say you got in an accident, let's say, I don't know, you got arrested and you got to pay a bond, you're going to have to sell that Bitcoin immediately. So with Libra credit, you have the ability to create this collateral so you have money to spend and you're not spending the precious cryptocurrencies that you own. So that's essentially it. But Libra credit's a little bit different because it gives you more options than just that. So let me show you. So crypto to fiat loan, that Salt does that. I haven't looked too much into Salt, but I believe Libra credit has has a different take on this because you can go crypto to stable loans, stable coin. So a stable coin is like Tether, Haven. These cryptocurrencies stay at the same price no matter what happens in the market, and it's a way for you to trade on a lot of exchanges. Like you can do that on, you can't do that on Coinbase. Coinbase you have to put in, the US dollar or the euro in order to trade. But if you go to Binance, you can't do that. So you have to go to Tether, and it represents the value of a dollar, kind of. That's a whole different conversation. But the point is, it allows you to do that so you can hedge price volatilities without exiting the market, which is interesting. And crypto to crypto lending, allowing borrowers to pledge other alternative tokens for more mainstream cryptocurrencies with better liquidity. So I guess that would be like if you're holding an altcoin that's not doing too well, and just in case it really falls through, you can borrow Ethereum so that you're still in the game and your value is increasing. So proprietary AI-based credit assessment framework. That sounds complicated. In-house risk management technology, which has been successfully deployed in China and Asian market successfully. Pioneer in digital credit service who leverages a dual credit, considering both the viability of the pledged collateral and the credit scoring of the individual borrower. So I guess this is more for assessing an individual's credit habits and protects Libre credit from a real big loss if they're lending. And this is their token distribution. They have 42% in lockup, 15% in reserve. Public sale was 4%, bounty was 2%, advisors 1%, backers 1%, and token 15%. So it's not bad. Advisors and backers get 1%, so their positions aren't absurdly high compared to the rest of the public that is invested in Libre credit. And we can see their roadmap. Okay, so we're at right now launched for crypto to crypto fiat lending. I assume that's already happened. I don't know if it has yet, but if not, it will happen at some point in the third quarter of this year. The mobile app will be launched in the fourth quarter 2019. Other digital asset to crypto fiat lending enabled with extended partnership networks. Digital financial physical asset to crypto fiat lending. So it starts getting a little bit more complicated in 2020. They want to give you as many options as you can for lending. Okay, so their team is pretty legit, if I do say so myself. Lou Hua, whatever. Co-founder and CEO, payments, financing, and risk management expert. So he's the CEO of Mo Credit. Mo Credit, I like that. China's top digital credit servicing company, successfully funded by Sequoia Capital, Bertelsmann Asia Investments, and Ventec China. PayPal China head of core payments, and PayPal US head of global banking platform. Okay, so this guy really has quite an extensive record of successful leadership skills. PayPal, just being part of PayPal at that high up at the spectrum, shows that I think he really does have the knowledge of what he's doing. I mean, I would say that, like I always say, I don't know, the website could look a little bit better. It's just certain things like that are important to me, but if you have a team that strong, just the CEO in general is really strong. So I already have a much more favorable view of Libre credit right now. Dan Schatt. So this is fintech and payments expert, CCO at Stockpile, and general manager of financial innovations at PayPal. So it's interesting how the two top tier of the team are both part of PayPal at the higher end. And that could really work to their advantage with this company as well. And we got the chief scientist who does all the science crap. Went to UC Berkeley, which is pretty impressive. And we can see that this guy probably knows what he's doing. So the rest I don't really want to go over. But there's a few more things. Advisors, not interested. Investors, though, they have some pretty impressive investors. Binance Labs, Block Tower, Defund, Block VC, Link VC, Fortitude 500, Cryptocurrency, and Alphabet. Richard Liu, investor in Libra and partner at FBG Capital. This isn't an incremental advance over what's out there. It's a massive paradigm shift. Libre credit is bringing the credit market to an asset class that will grow to trillions in the next few years, which is very true. Libre credit is really capitalizing on a market that most people in the traditional finance sector are very skeptical of, right? See, we haven't become skeptical of loans anymore that finance a house that people pay off for 30 years, but crypto, God forbid, right? Crypto is really scary, and a lot of people in the traditional finance sector are absolutely scared of crypto and getting involved. But that's where these companies come to play, and taking a risk like this really could benefit them majorly in the long term. And it's also pretty cool because Libre Credit has been out there for a while. As we can see, I don't know if they must have done an ICO, and judging by the price, not bad for an ICO that comes out. Usually you see when an ICO comes out, you see a huge crash in the price. And we have been seeing it lower and lower and lower. There's no doubt about that. But these loan companies right now just haven't been doing too good in the crypto sphere. But I highly doubt that it's going to last like that forever, especially when more mainstream interest arises yet again. We saw that with SALT in December. People were just, they at this point, this was probably the best time to hold your crypto. Well, not in December, but doing the collateral thing where you hold on to it is a very useful technology. And at this point, there's so much potential, and the value is so little that it seems like this is the ultimate opportunity to get involved. But like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but Libre Credit is surprisingly a really cool company. And you could just see how many impressive people agree. This is the most excited I've been since PayPal introduced credit to its customers. Every crypto bank and exchange will benefit from Libre Credit's credit capabilities. And this guy is an advisor to Libre Credit, former president of PayPal, former CEO of Yahoo. So this guy, this team, especially the president, it seems like this guy is really connected with the higher ups in the finance world. It's really impressive to me because it means that he has backing that you don't usually see even with the top 50 cryptocurrencies. You don't see this very often. So the team is, that's truly a 10 out of 10 with the team. And the concept is tried and true. It has existed for a long time. If you're wondering how they make their money, it's based on maintenance fees. And I think I saw that somewhere. I don't want to go through this whole thing. So essentially what happens is there's a maintenance fee of there's a monthly fee. I'm not sure exactly how much it is. I guess it's determinate upon how much collateral you're holding, and that's how they make money. Like the fee as well to hold, to do the loan, the liquidation if someone doesn't pay, and it kind of creates stability in the crypto sphere as well. So these kind of concepts are really useful because this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or what have you, that are being held and aren't being used. So there's no selling, and it's keeping the stability intact a little bit, especially in a time like this. It's very useful. So, clearly the price could be doing better, but the whole crypto sphere could be doing better right now. And like I said before, this is the tip of the, I really think that this isn't going to last much longer. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this plays out. But Libre Credit, to my surprise, is actually a really cool project. This is actually the first time I've really read through it. And honestly, when I first saw this website, I kind of thought it was going to be stupid and just a play on SALT. But they actually do have something here, and that's pretty cool to see. So give it a chance, guys. Check it out if you'd like. And that's that, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. If you have, please subscribe, like, comment, and you can win some Litecoin for the next video. I'll see you on the next one.